Okay, and here we go. And also, I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you opened all the gifts, ate all the food, spent some great time with your family. But let's get to it. Jon Heyman yesterday on Christmas tweeting, teams are checking on Chris Sale's availability. Red Sox are not looking to trade any of their starters, but view the rotation as an area of depth and are at least willing to listen and consider. Chris Sale does have a complete no-trade clause, so he can veto potential deals. Now, this is rather interesting. Ever since Chris Sale helped the Red Sox win the World Series in 2018, striking out Manny Machado to clinch the World Series against the Dodgers, it has just been a whirlwind for Chris Sale. He has barely pitched. He got Tommy John. His finger exploded at Yankee Stadium last year. Chris Sale, it has been a miserable couple of years, but if this guy's healthy, this is going to be a top of the rotation kind of a guy. So I could see teams maybe willing to take a chance on Chris Sale. I would imagine the Red Sox would have to pay down some of his remaining salary. He's going to be making $27.5 million this year and next year, and then there's a club option for the final year. So I could see teams being intrigued by maybe acquiring someone like a Chris Sale. Now, for the Red Sox, it sounds kind of surprising that they would be willing to listen on offers for starters because the rotation was a bit of a concern last year for them. They did lack some depth. I mean, they definitely have, kind of improved in that area. You are going to be getting Chris Sale back, obviously. Hopefully this guy's healthy for next year. You still got Nick Pivetta, bit of an up and down season, but Nick Pivetta still going to be a mainstay in your rotation. Garrett Whitlock is coming to the rotation, so that is a guarantee. James Paxton going to be coming back from injury, hopefully this year. He's still a bit of a question mark to me, but Brian Bayo, he showed a lot of promise in the majors last year, was really good in the minor leagues. And then you still got someone like a Tanner Houck in the bullpen as of right now. You got someone like Cutter Crawford. You got some depth in the minor leagues. You got Connor Siebold, Brandon Walter, Brian Mata was intriguing after coming back from Tommy John last year. Guys like Chris Murphy, Josh Winkowski. So, yeah, they do have some depth. But if you take out someone the caliber of a Chris Sale, it's going to be looking a little weak here. But if the Red Sox, if they're looking to clear off some payroll, if they're looking to try and get rid of this salary for the next couple of years, I can see, and there are still a couple of free agents out there. You could still bring back Nathan Eovaldi. So there are some possibilities if you were to part with someone like Chris Sale, you could still add some depth. But in this video, I've come up with a few trade proposals involving Chris Sale. Let's get to it. For the first trade, I have Chris Sale going to the LA Dodgers. Yes, the team that he helped beat in 2018 for the World Series. I think this could make some sense. Chris Sale, as we can see here on Baseball Trade Values, the best baseball trade simulator out there, a negative $13 million value. The way they come up with that and all of these values is you factor in age, performance, your contract, how much money you're making, how much control you have on the contract, the injury history. The number that spits out for him is negative $13 million. That makes a lot of sense to me considering how he's been for the last few years with the injuries and how much money he is making. So in all of these trades, I have the Red Sox including cash. So he's going to be making $27.5 million this year and next year. So I have the Red Sox covering this year's salary in every single deal that I will be proposing. So when we combine the cash and his value, the surplus value that gets spit out is $14.5 million. So coming back to the Red Sox in this trade, I have James Outman and Ryan Pepiot. Ryan Pepiot, a young starting pitcher, a guy that is ready for the major leagues. I think he could help out the Red Sox right now. Right now, the walks are looking a little scary with him. With the Dodgers in 9 games last year, his walks were at around 6.5 walks per 9. But in the minors last year, he had some pretty solid numbers overall. 11 strikeouts per 9, 3.5 walks per 9. He kept the home runs down. The FIP was almost around 2 runs higher than the ERA, so that is a little concerning. But with a Ryan Pepiot, he's got a good fastball. He's got a good changeup. I think he would be a nice add, a young starting pitcher with a ton of control. I think the Red Sox would like that. And then James Outman, we saw him play just a very small sample size with the Dodgers last year, but he was extremely fun in the 4 games that he played. He played well in the minor leagues last year. James Outman, a very athletic outfielder. The Red Sox, you could plug him into center field. You could put Kike Hernandez at either shortstop or second base, so that could solve the problem right there for the Red Sox. You could have Story and Kike Hernandez up the middle, James Outman in center field, another guy with a ton of control. I think this deal makes a lot of sense. And for the Dodgers, you're getting Chris Sale, obviously. I mean, this guy would be awesome for the rotation if he's healthy, of course. I mean, all of these trades are going to be depending on if he's healthy. I mean, of course, if he's healthy, he's going to be helping out a lot of teams. But for the Dodgers, they could use a guy like this for the postseason. I love the Dodgers rotation in the regular season, but when it comes to the postseason, I want some top guns there. And Chris Sale, to me, sure, he has had his struggles in the postseason in the past, but this is Chris Sale we're talking about here. You will always take your chances with Chris Sale on the mound. Could that relegate someone like a Dustin May to the bullpen? He just came back from Tommy John last year. Tony Gonsolin. Who knows how they can figure that, but I mean, I think the Dodgers, and especially, they could definitely handle, the $27.5 million that they would have to pay for next year. And hey, the Red Sox and the Dodgers, they've come together on trades before. Mookie Betts, and remember, they took David Price. Could they do the same thing here with Chris Sale? I don't know. For me, I like this deal with the Red Sox and the Dodgers. For the next trade, how about Chris Sale going back to the Chicago White Sox? I understand he was cutting up their jerseys left and right before he left town, but I think a reunion here could be a pretty good thing for both sides. Now, the Chicago White Sox, if we take a look at their rotation, it is looking a little full right now, but they could use a lefty in this rotation. I'm not sure how much I'm trusting Clevinger at this point. You could always put Kopech back in the bullpen. I don't know. I've always looked at Michael Kopech as a guy for the bullpen. I don't know if that's just me. White Sox fans, let me know down in the comments. I mean, this guy's got electric stuff. This guy could be a shutdown closer for years to come, and he's had some injury history. I don't know. Whatever you end up doing, I think Chris Sale could be solid for this rotation. A disappointing White Sox team last year, looking to bounce back in 2023, could be a nice addition for this rotation. Now, for the Red Sox, they're sending over cash, and coming back to them, you'd be getting Ramos and Kelly, a couple of prospects. Brian Ramos, number 5 in their system, third base prospect, could end up moving to first base at some point. So most likely he's going to be a corner guy, maybe could play some left field, a DH. But Brian Ramos, the big thing with him, he's a very solid hitter, already has an advanced approach down in the minor leagues. For 20 years old, he's already put up some pretty good numbers. Last year, hit 266 with a 338 on base, 455 slugging, had 22 homers. This guy, I think, could be a solid addition. And with the Red Sox, could they be trading Rafael Devers rather soon? Here you go. This could be your next third baseman. And then Jared Kelly. This was a guy they drafted not too long ago, a couple of years ago. He's been showing some pretty good stuff down in the minor leagues. The problem with Jared Kelly is he tends to walk some guys. He tends to lack command, but he has good stuff. Good fastball. He has a good changeup, pretty decent slider as well. He just has to work on the control. But for the Red Sox, I think you get a couple of solid guys in this package. But I do have another proposal with the White Sox. If we go take a look here at the Red Sox and the White Sox here, same thing, Sale and some cash. But in this one, instead of Ramos, you'd be getting Vera and Rodriguez. So taking a look here, Norge Vera, right-handed pitcher in Double-A at the moment. Big fastball, has a pretty decent curveball as well. And if we take a look here as well, we had Rodriguez. So Rodriguez at the moment is their number 7. He has a good hit tool. He's athletic. He's got a 55 run, 55 field. Hey, this is a guy I think could be pretty decent and had some pretty decent numbers in Double-A last year. Hit 280 with a 340 on base, 430 slugging, 11 homers, and he also had 40 stolen bases. The Red Sox, Chaim Bloom, they tend to like these athletic guys. I think this could be a pretty nice package for the Red Sox and the White Sox. Would Chris Sale want to go back to the White Sox? Remember, he has the no trade clause, so he could just turn it down. But I think a reunion could be pretty fun. For the next trade, how about the Arizona Diamondbacks? Listen, the Arizona Diamondbacks, they've been trying to make some moves this offseason. They went after Xander Bogaerts, but why not, since you swung and missed on Bogaerts, why not go after another Red Sox and Chris Sale? I think Chris Sale for the Diamondbacks could be a really nice fit. They could use another guy in this rotation. Zach Gallen busted out last year. Merrill Kelly was really solid. But I think Chris Sale right there with Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly, 1, 2, 3. I think that's a really solid 1 through 3. Then you got a couple of young guys. Madison Bumgarner. Could you end up shipping him out somewhere? I don't know. But I think the Diamondbacks would be a really nice fit. So here is the proposal I have here. So once again, Chris Sale and some cash and a couple of one prospect in return, as well as Joe Mantiply, a good lefty for the Red Sox bullpen, someone that can help out at the major league level right now. But De Los Santos would be a really, really nice addition for the Red Sox here. The number 6 prospect in their system right now. He's 19 years old, already in Double-A, but he's got a big power tool, 65 power. I mean, my goodness, look at the year that he had last year. Hit 306, a 348 on base, 499 slugging, 22 homers. I mean, my goodness, this guy is going to be the real deal. And if the Red Sox could get a big right-handed bat like this, oh, could you imagine this guy at Fenway Park down the road? My goodness. But for the Diamondbacks, this would be an awesome addition if they could do something like this. And for the Red Sox, the Diamondbacks, they have spent big money in the past, but you don't see them do it very often. I think if the Red Sox paid some of Chris Sale's contract, I think the Diamondbacks would be all about it. However, I got one more proposal here. You want to get crazy right now? You want to get absolutely crazy? How about this one? Why not, if you're going to be trading Rafael Devers, if you're not going to sign this guy to a long-term extension, why not just put Devers, Sale, and some cash together in a package? Then you'd be getting back right around $50 million in value. So for the Red Sox in this deal, leading the way would be Alek Thomas. They did just trade Dalton Varsho, but rumors are that they are still willing to listen to offers on these outfielders. The Red Sox could use a center fielder. Alek Thomas played a lot of center field. This would be a really good young guy under control for years to come. Alek Thomas would be a great add for the Red Sox. I also have De Los Santos and Mantiply in this deal. And then someone like a Landon Sims, who they just drafted recently, pitching prospect, can go right into your system. This probably is a little too crazy. Let me know what you think of this one. I think this one could be pretty fun. But for the Diamondbacks, if they got Devers and Chris Sale, man, the Diamondbacks all of a sudden are looking pretty relevant in that National League West. For the next trade, how about Chris Sale on the St. Louis Cardinals? I actually like this one a lot because the Cardinals are going to send someone back to the Red Sox that they've been trying to get rid of for what feels like a couple of years now in Paul DeJong. Coming along with Paul DeJong, we got Matthew Liberatore, former Tampa Bay Ray. Chaim Bloom knows Matthew Liberatore very well. And Joshua Baez, big power bat that they drafted a couple of years ago out of high school. So for the Cardinals, I put $26.2 million of cash here. I don't know. I just wanted it to be a nice, clean, even 13.20 for both sides. Chris Sale would be awesome for this rotation. I feel like they need a top of the rotation guy. I love Adam Wainwright. I love Miles Mikolas, but come on now. I mean, these guys, these are not like number one kind of guys. I see a rotation full of like number 3s. Jack Flaherty could be a number 1 guy, but he's never healthy. Chris Sale, if he's healthy, easily number 1 in your rotation. But for the Red Sox, I like this package that they're getting, and they're getting a shortstop in Paul DeJong. Has some power from the right-hand side. I think for Fenway Park, that could be a pretty nice fit. He plays good defense out there. Paul DeJong, Trevor Story up the middle. Pretty good defense if you ask me. And then for Matthew Liberatore, this is a guy hasn't quite figured it out yet at the major league level. Still very young, 23 years old. Still has a couple of minor league options. But last year, just once again, not a very good year. But he's put up some pretty decent numbers in the minor leagues. Well, before last year he just really struggled. Maybe a change of scenery could be good for Matthew Liberatore. And again, has that connection with Chaim Bloom, was with the Rays not too long ago. And then also in this deal, we got Joshua Baez. I was really hoping the Red Sox would draft this guy a couple of years ago. Big power bat out of high school in Single A last year. Hit 267 with a 385 on base, a 485 slugging. Only had 4 home runs, but he also had 10 stolen bases as well. But again, the power with him, this could be a really intriguing power bat for the Red Sox down the road. For me, I actually like this trade a lot. I would not mind this at all. You know, and if you can get a young lefty starting pitcher out of this, and you get a starting shortstop in Paul DeJong and an intriguing bat with Joshua Baez, hey, I wouldn't mind this deal at all. And last but not least, how about the Philadelphia Phillies? Why not send him to the guy that signed him to the contract extension, Dave Dombrowski? You just signed Craig Kimbrell. Let's just bring the whole family back to Philly with Dave Dombrowski. But I actually kind of like this trade. Coming to the Phillies, of course, is Chris Sale and some cash. But for the Red Sox, you're getting a pretty intriguing package here. You're getting Bailey Falter, a left-hander. Young has a ton of control, showed a lot of promise last year with the Phillies, so you're basically just swapping lefties. And so Falter would go into the Red Sox rotation, and then Chris Sale will go into the Phillies rotation. And then for the Red Sox, you're getting Edmundo Sosa, a guy that can play all around the diamond. In the infield, he could be either your second baseman or your shortstop. He has quite a bit of control left. I think the Red Sox would like that. And then you're also getting Hao-Yu Lee. This is one of my favorite prospects in the minor leagues right now. This is a guy already has a very high IQ, and he's only 19 years old. Look at the numbers that he put up last year in rookie ball and A ball and high A ball. He had 284 with a 386 on base, 438 slugging. He had 9 home runs, had 53 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases. But scouts think that his power could get even better down the road. This is a guy who has good plate discipline. I would love to add someone like a Hao-Yu Lee. But for the Red Sox, I would love to add Bailey Falter. Guy's 25 years old, not a free agent until 2028. Had pretty solid numbers last year. The FIP was a little high at 4.65, but ERA was a 3.86. Had good numbers down in the minor leagues. If we take a look here in AAA last year, over 9 starts, had over 9 strikeouts per 9, had around a walk per 9. He's not going to walk a lot of guys. I like that a lot. So for the Red Sox and the Phillies, I think this could end up being a pretty good trade. The Phillies are in win now mode. You get 2 years of Chris Sale. Chris Sale would be awesome for this rotation. And, you know, of course, I like Bailey Falter, but if you have a chance to add a guy like the caliber of a Chris Sale, could you imagine that 1, 2, 3, if all 3 guys are perfectly healthy with Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, and Chris Sale in the postseason? That could be what gets you over the hump and helps you win a World Series. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. But also, let me know what are some other trades for Chris Sale that you could see happening. Which one of these trades did you like? Which ones did you not like? Tell me all your thoughts down below in the comments. But that's all I have for right now, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.